Hey guys, Micah from blackbearcustomkydex. I've got a really cool sheath to show you today, and this one is going to Alburn out in Idaho. So here's what we got. And he sent me his Tops SXB, which is one of my favorite large knives. This thing is just a beast. And also, really exciting, Tops just came out with the SXS, which is the smaller version of this. So at some point I think I'm going to have to get myself one of those because it's just cool. So obviously he asked for a baldric system, but we also have a dangler on here as well. It is a piggyback, and he's got a custom knife from Fallbrook Forge. I don't really know anything about them, but I do think this is a pretty cool knife. It's very comfortable, seems very well made, so shout out to them. I've got an Easy Lap sharpening rod on here. Got a Phoenix UC35, UC35 flashlight, and on the back we have a Hudson Bay tobacco tin. So this thing's pretty cool. If you guys are familiar with, well, you guys know what the SE tin is. So just to give you a size comparison, this thing's a little bit bigger. Well, it's actually substantially bigger than the SE tin when you actually measure it from, you know, side to side. It's just got a different shape, obviously. So that's pretty cool, and you can pop the cap off there and look in the magnifying glass at the contents inside your tin. So neat little thing there. Originally we had planned to put some mollies on the back of this sheath, but with the mollies were going to be down by the tip, both to help run a leg strap and also for like an inverted pack mount. But unfortunately, with the size of the tin and the other things on here, I just couldn't really get it on there without messing up something or other. So the problem with it was primarily that once you add that next layer of things, the Chicago screws are just not long enough to be able to accommodate those. So unfortunately, that's the situation. But it all came out really nice, even without the mollies on it. And I'm just going to take a little closer look at this. So, alright, oh yeah, we got this little claw here too. You guys have seen these on some of the other sheaths I've done, and they come with a really crappy fake paracord snake knot on it, so I tied an actual paracord snake knot on just to make it a little better. So, alright. Let's see, talking points. Alright, so first off, the Easy Lap is in there, really snug, but the reason for it is that there's no hole on this thing to run shock cord through for retention. So without some kind of secondary measure to keep retention, or keep it retained on there, there's always the possibility that this thing could fall out. So I wanted to make sure that it was in there nice and snug. And it's not like ridiculous to get it out or anything. It's still got a pretty smooth draw. It's just, you know, it's definitely tight. So you can wear it either way, doesn't matter. It's a very symmetrical tunnel. Personally, I prefer to have the stopper up top, so the fatter part hitting the top of the holder like so. The tobacco tin, there's a little bit of a trick with it. If you want to get it out, the easiest way is to lift this tab. You kind of just flex it away from the sheath, and you can just very easily rotate the tin up. It doesn't rattle or anything. It's in there nice and snug. And when you want to put it back in there, you're going to want to put it in roughly at that angle, and then you can either flex the tab, or you can just use your thumb and push it down in. But you'll feel it kind of pop into place. It seats in there nice and snug, and yeah, there's no rattle or play or anything like that. So the flashlight, the whole design with that, if you guys saw the sheath I made for El Chete for BJ Hill, it's sort of the same concept. I mounted the flashlight near the throat of the sheath so that when you're wearing it, you can actually have the flashlight facing out and just hit the on button, which is exposed. The on button doesn't go inside the little holder for it at all. You just click on, and you've got your flashlight to use with a pretty generous range of motion, and you can increase that range of motion very easily with this sling. I'll talk a little bit more about the sling in a minute. But so you've got a really nice setup for the flashlight, and of course you can remove it if you ever need to to get it out of there. So, all right, so there's that, and the SXB fits quite nicely in here. Goes in very smooth, and then got a nice click in. Looks really nice, and even with one hand, while it's completely suspended freely on you, you can pretty easily draw that out. So no worries there. It's really good retention, but a really good release on it. I've got some dust in the sheath still. Blow that out before I send it. And the piggyback. This is probably the most exciting part of this sheath for me. So this is another breakaway piggyback, which you've seen me do before, various breakaway designs, but the whole idea behind it is you can choose the carry method that you want for your piggyback system, for your smaller knife on the piggyback, and it'll already be attached in a way that allows you to just remove your smaller knife, and it's just ready to carry in that method. So what we have here is a large tech lock, and it took a little bit of figuring to find a way that actually, worked really well, but you can see I've created this holder that actually grips the tech lock rather than the sheath itself. So normally my piggybacks are set up where you plug the whole sheath into a similar little holder like this, and in this one it's actually set up specifically for the tech lock. So I won't go into too many details here, but the tech lock itself you can actually rock at a few different angles. I set it up the same way I do for my multi-position carry, where you can have the tech lock here so you've got a vertical carry. You can turn it 90 degrees so you have a nice horizontal carry, or you can angle it so that you've got a cross draw situation. So you would wear it probably on, if you're right-handed, you would wear it on your left side, and it rides slightly with the handle up at an angle so that you have a nice comfortable angle to grab your knife at. So that said, if you do change the tech lock and wear it like that, horizontal will be fine to go back into this holder. However, if you do that, obviously the knife is going to be set up something like this. So that might look a little bit funky. I don't know. You can definitely do it, but I don't know if I recommend it. And if you do the canted, if you turn it and do, the cross draw setup, you cannot put the tech lock back in here. And the reason is because you have certain limitations with this kind of setup, based on where the screws are going through the tech lock and into the sheath itself, and those are going to act as stoppers as you try to put it back in here. You can see I've cut away to specifically account for this vertical setup, but if I were to cut away to account for all three, it wouldn't be a solid platform to plug your tech lock into. So it would end up, you'd have a lot of play on it. It would probably rattle, and I'm not sure exactly how much retention you'd get out of it. But this setup here is actually extremely efficient, extremely good at retaining your knife. So let's check it out real quick. Plugging back in, it's a little bit tricky. You want to seat the bottom corner first, like the cutting edge corner of the tech lock first. Once you've got that seated in, you just kind of rotate it until you get the top in. You can see it's on there. It's not clicked in or anything, but I've got the two wings pushed in, and then you just drive it in until it clicks in place. So it's a pretty nice little system you just clip into. It does obviously create a pretty broad profile, but when you're going to wear this as a Baldric system anyway, I think it's it's pretty comfortable, and I don't really notice it being wide when I'm wearing it like this. So I don't know. I think this is a pretty good setup here, and if you're going to rock the large tech lock as the carry method on your smaller knife, I think this is honestly the way to go. Let me see what else we have here. Well, while we're on the subject of the breakaway dangler, same as with my other systems, part of my goal for it is to design it so that the actual breakaway is strong enough to retain your sheath if you decide to just grab the handle of your knife and pull it out. So without having to worry about, sometimes if the retention is too strong on the knife itself, you could pull on the knife and the whole sheath would come off. And well, I don't know why I'm saying sometimes. I think I'm the only person that builds these types of systems. I know I'm the creator of the Breakaway system, and I don't know if anybody else is out there doing it or not, but anyway, that's definitely a part of my goal. So if you ever do just need to grab it and pull it out, your sheath will stay put. So that's important. And then when you do want to grab it off of there, I would just, brace your main sheath somewhere, somehow, in an opposing direction, and you just kind of slide it out. So, all right. So that's what we got there. As far as the dangler goes, I actually set it up a little different from my normal ones. I did it a double layer because it's a heavy system, and you can see I've did a couple eyelets down here. So this is the multicam, black multicam or super cam Night Stalker is what Knife Kits calls it. So it's over OD green. That's the color combo for the sheath. So I've riveted it together beneath the double layer D-ring adapter, whatever you want to call it, and done a little design on it. It looks pretty cool. And then the leather itself, did all my same stuff too, only I also added a little border stitch because I thought it looked really cool, and his initials there as well, AJT. So I hope you like that, brother. It looks really sharp, definitely rugged. He asked me to also make it kind of a short loop, so we got that. And then finally we have the baldric sling itself, and this is the sling that I'm going with these days. So if you ask for a baldric sling, this is the one I'll default to unless you specifically request something else. But this is from Eagle Rock Gear, and I've just been really, really impressed with it. This is the third one I've built with this particular sling, and it's just awesome. It has this nice little loop that you can grab and do really quick adjustments with, so you don't have to fidget around with trying to run strap through those weird buckles. And I don't know, I just really like that setup. These things are cool, and they have, I'm not sure, their specs probably say somewhere on the package, I just haven't bothered to read it, but they have a huge length of paracord on it. So if you ever do need to get some paracord in an emergency, you can just nab some off of here. It looks like the paracord does actually form this band of the sling. It's not paracord over the nylon sling, so there's only so much you could take off of this before you actually create a disconnect, but you do have a ton of paracord to work with, so that's a really nice option to have there. Alright, so that is the knife, and he also ordered one of my BBCK wallets, all in black multicam. Looks really nice, and yeah, that'll be going to him today. So, alright brother, I hope you like your sheath, and for everybody else out there, if you like this project, if you like this video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed to the channel. Definitely comment down below, let me know what you think of this. Share it with all your buddies. I appreciate you tuning in. Stick around for the next one, guys. God bless.